Yo boys, ignore my haircut. I know I look like a squirrel, but we've been wrong about Ormus. We've been really wrong about Ormus. And for that, my pants are off. I'm gonna get on the floor and ask for forgiveness. Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Zeals back again with another video. How are you guys doing? So, I'm really hyped. I literally ran home. I was with my girlfriend, and then as soon as Monkey, E3'd his Ormus, I literally told her I had an emergency. I had to go home, because guys, as you're seeing on your screen, we're going to be talking about Ormus in the endgame PvP lineup in the Redemption. And woo, guys, I am so happy that some other aura other than GVE is working right now, and today I'm going to showcase and explain about Ormus in combat, not like the mathematics and stuff that put you to sleep. You could read that on Reddit, but I'm going to show you how he works in terms of synergy, how he's working with other heroes and things like that in the Redemption aura today. I'm going to be fighting against all the top GVE teams on my server group, and we have disgusting combinations. We have the single Omnivore with Aspen Mim, we have the double Aidas, the double Mims, the double Aida, the triple Mims. We have everything. You remember, like double Aspen, double Face. I'm gonna put my Redemption team, or Monkey's Redemption team, with the Ormus against all the top GVE teams, and you can see for yourself. I'm not gonna put any judgments out there. You decide. After you watch my video today, I'm so freaking hyped, guys. Anyways, let's get right into it. Let me explain how he's working in terms of the Redemption aura. Yes, of course, there is double Aida. I also tried Belrain as well. Because of the existence of Omnivore and Aspen, I did like having double Aida. Of course, if you only have one Aida, you just gotta wait for the Glory Relic shop where Aida's put in there, right? Anyways, with that out the way, let's go right in. Yeah. Alright guys, so I'm on Monkey's account, and I'm going to attack my own double Mim GVE team, which is able to hold top 5, top 10 without spamming arena tickets on my Megalodon heavy server group, even without the skin, boys. But anyways, I just wanted to show just play by plays and explain what is going on at the end, where I just slop with the slow motions and you can just see for yourself. So what you're seeing right now is that when Ormus falls below 30%, he puts a rescue mark on all your teammates, and you can see that by the blue disc, the blue fortress disc underneath your heroes. And Valkyrie just did her active attack, and because of Aida's balance mark, she fell below 30%, but rescue mark healed her for 800k. Now, the reason why we lost, the Redemption team lost, is because Ormus just couldn't pick it up. He was horrified in round 1, but that is not a total counter to Ormus, as you'll see in the next fight. Alright, round 2. So Aida's doing their balance marks, pressure on both the teams. Ormus is horrified by Aspen, but he will build enough energy from taking hits, and he will do his active skill, healing the lowest HP target, which is Valentino. And by using his active, he fell below 30%, triggering his last passive, the rescue mark. So as you're seeing, the Redemption team is looking healthy, Deer active, and that's pretty much win. If you can trigger or activate the Deer, you're pretty much going to win with at least 4 of your teammates up. And they all have the rescue mark, just looking flawless. And look at that basic attack with that healing over time. It just adds up, boys. It doesn't look like much, the 500k, but it's just a lot. And they're just able to sustain. Aidas have their own healing, Valkyries have their own healing, so it's just a lot of goodiness in a bag. And Valentino has that last passive with the 50% damage reduction. Alright, so next fight, let's see here. Valentino is always going to be the lowest HP unit. That's how I designed this team, so that Ormus always does his active on Valentino. And Valentino is pretty much the tank, right? He gets that last passive off, and he has that 50% damage reduction. So even though he has the lowest HP, he's able to take a lot of hits from Mim's basic attack. So Aspen, boom, just did his active, but because he could not kill Valentino because he is the tank with the 50% damage reduction, the rescue marked the trigger, healing in for 800k. So Valentino just didn't die, and that just really pisses off Mims because they're not able to get their last passes off from kills. And Mim dies right there, but it only hits our teammates for only 400k average. Not enough. When only one die at a time. When Mim dies, right, his last passive just doesn't trigger. Yeah. So everybody's alive and happy, and most of them has the rescue marks, looking flawless. And one thing about the patch, guys, is that the developers, it's in the patch notes, Aspen's Horrify effect is counted now as a CC, and someone wanted me to test this, so that means Valkyrie, when she eats Horrify effect, she does healer from her passive as well. So there's so much healing going on from Ormus' active, from his rescue marks, as well as his basic attack, the E3 healing, Valkyrie being CC'd, and all of that goody. And I'm trying here with Belrain as well. I didn't really like Belrain too much because of Omnivore, but because I don't have Omnivore in this double Mim Aspen setup, I was able to get away with the Belrain. Ormus slot 1 position, and he's able to go nicely under 30%, putting a rescue mark without being bursted down by Aspen. Boom, just look at that healing, guys. 3.7 mil. All right, just so much sustain. And of course, guys, rescue mark from Ormus' last passive gives a healing effect boost of 15%, which counteracts kind of with the Aida's last passive, which she has that healing effect reduce or healing reduce effect, which you can see above Ormus' head right now, the red heart.
My heart went off like crazy. You pressed your arms on my head. We fell into my small bed. You started out to face it. My heart went off like crazy. I felt my breath is taken.
So Aspen just having a sad day because he's just not able to hit the targets below 35% for that execute. And someone asked me if the rescue mark kind of stops Aspen from doing his execute. No, it doesn't. All right, he'll still do his execute, he'll still do his damage first, and then if they still survive, then the rescue mark will go off and heal them.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely.
Alright, like you saw, I just wanted to see how much Belrain would heal with Ormus. Pretty much just a test, but I just knew double Aida will be a lot stronger. Let's keep seeing how much healing they both do without being CC'd here. We're into round 4, round 5, so the enemy team has a lot of healing reduced from Aida. And that's going to pretty much cancel out the E3 healing that they're going to get. I mean, it doesn't completely cancel it out, but it really nerfs the E3 healing from the GVE's last passive or the last enabled talent tier.
That's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude.
Alright, here's another fight with Ormus and Belrain, seeing their synergy. And Ormus just dipped below 30%. His rescue mark also got eaten up by using his active because of Aida's balance mark. And he's just able to survive and stay active. Alright, so Ormus and Belrain has lived long enough to kind of get them into the later mid rounds, round 4 and 5. And like I said, because one of the Aidas are alive, or actually I'm just running one Aida here. So because she was alive, the healing effect reduce kind of, you know, removes the GVE sustain. And GVEs really just can't sustain anyways. That's the whole point. Just switching up the lineup real quick here. Yeah. Alright, so I wanted to fight a Omnivore team as well. And Omnivore is kind of a counter, of course, to Ormus because Ormus is a priest. But Ormus is a lot tankier than Belrain because, of course, Ormus is not a light hero. So I don't really think Omnivore, unless you gear him like really well, Omnivore is not a direct threat or a counter per se against Ormus. So I just wanted to see a fight with them both healing once again. I'm gonna take out Belrain now, and I'm gonna be a big boy, use double Aida, of course. Like I said, double Aida is a lot better because all these heroes have a way of sustaining themselves. And if one of the Aidas are alive, the healing effect reduce or healing reduce effect is just enough because the Redemption team has a lot of healing and they can pretty much heal through the healing reduce effect. But the GVE can't, as you're seeing, just gets melted, guys. And Valkyrie, you know, she does her damage whether she's in a CC or not. And Aida's basic and active, they do a ton of pressure and damage alone. So they're just able to pretty much just sustain themselves through the pressure of GVE. Alright, so I wanted to try against every GVE combos, a Faith Blade as well, double Mim Aspen, double Mim Omnivore, single Mim, triple Mim, all of that will be in the video, guys. So this guy, he caused a lot of trouble last week or a couple days ago before I went Redemption. So let's see how it pans out. Of course, Valentino is going to take all the basic attacks, like I said, and I just want to explain what happened just right now. Every time Ormus uses active, he's going to pretty much fall below 30%. And that is a nice way of triggering his rescue mark. That's why I didn't want to build him HP build and went full attack, because when he does his active in round 1, he's going to trigger that rescue mark. And that is very important because if he gets bursted down by, for example, like a Aspen with Staff Punisher Immortal in round 2, then Ormus is not going to get off his rescue mark to the rest of his teammates, right? So by him doing his active against the balance mark of Aida, because of the Aidas in today's meta, Ormus is able to apply his last passive nicely and safely almost all the time. Alright guys, if you're still confused about Ormus, let me explain, let me simplify for you. So 2 days ago, I didn't really test him, and yeah, I made an assumption that Ormus, Redemption, dead. But I'm totally wrong, and I love being wrong sometimes. I love when other auras are able to come out and, you know, like I love the rock, paper, scissors meta, right? And I'm so excited because Ormus, literally, if you're seeing the fights, I'm not cherry picking anything. I literally went into arena and I said, I'm going to use every single arena ticket that Monkey has. Yeah, Monkey, you wanted me to test anyways. But I went in there, I literally used all the arena tickets against all the strongest folks, even one of the strongest rainbows, and I just wanted to fight double Mims, like I said, double Mim Omnivore, double Mim Aspen, triple Mims, double Faith Blades, double Aspens, you name it, every single GVE comp, I did it. And of course, I'm not saying that Redemption is going to be the king. There's always going to be a counter, guys. Like I said about the PvP meta, it literally can change week by week. I spent, what, 900 glory relics getting double Mim? Rip, boys. Rip. But maybe there's going to be a way to counter that. Maybe I have to use anti-priest artifact. I have to dive into it. And if there's a counter, I'll let you guys know. If Redemption is still strong, I'll keep covering Redemption with Ormus. If you guys are liking this video, if you thumbs up this video, maybe I'll do that. But I wanted to explain some of the counters of Ormus. I mentioned Aspen as well as Omnivore. Omnivore, of course, he has the burst as well as he does do additional damage against priests. But I haven't really seen a fight thus far. I've done more tests outside of the things you're seeing where Ormus is just obliterated or one shot, and there's just workarounds for that as well. But for Aspen's Horrify, if he does get a Horrify off, it does create some like pressure in terms of, because Ormus, he's not a damage dealer, of course. His job is to heal and help the Redemption sustain into the mid rounds, like I explained about Aida's last passive, the healing effect reduce, putting that pressure on a GVE team. It literally makes their last passives, the healing enabled talent, almost useless. And GVE is not able to sustain against the Redemption, guys. Of course, you've seen that, what, 4 months ago when I made the first Redemption Aura video. But anyways, that is, the Horrify effect can kind of slow down Ormus, but like I said, if you kind of put it in slot 1, or if he does take enough hits to fill his energy bar in round 1, and because he is going to be the slowest hero without using speed artifacts, him doing his active in round 1, healing that Valentino up, is just great synergy. Because when he heals Valentino, not only does he put a rescue mark on Valentino, but he puts another rescue mark on the entire teammates. Why? Because like I said, when Ormus does his active, he's going to fall most likely below 30% HP due to Aida's balance mark, and everyone runs Aida. So not only does he give a smart heal to Valentino in that Redemption Aura, healing Valentino back up with the active skill healing, it's a smart heal, right? Like Michelle, it heals the target with the lowest HP and puts a rescue mark on Valentino, as well as, like I said, the rescue mark from his last passive, putting it on Valentino again, as well as all the teammates. And you've seen the slow motions. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it again over and over. There was like a 2.4 million heal just from the rescue mark on Valentino. And how does this synergize, right? So we have a lot of tanks in the Redemption Aura. I'm so excited, guys. Sorry if this is confusing. I'll keep covering it, but there are multiple tanks. Slot 1, you could have Ormus tank. You don't need to put a damage reduce artifact. You could use Magic Stone Sword. You could use a Fearless Armor. What I used was Lucky Candy Bar, but because a lot of GVEs, there's only Michelle for the stun. You can use other artifacts as well. But anyways, Ormus, when Ormus is taking hits in slot 1, or Aida, you can have Aida with a Fearless Armor, and you have a backline tank as well. What does that mean? Basically, you have heroes like Mim that targets heroes with the lowest amount of HP left with the basic attack, right? So it's gonna target Valentino, and because Valentino's last passive, the 50% damage reduction does take over when he falls below 80%. Mim is able to trigger that, and not only that, Valentino, the way I build Valentino, has like literally no HP. So when Valentino falls below 80%, he gets the 50% damage reduction, and because he's the lowest target, Ormus will always heal Valentino with his active skill, putting the double rescue mark like I explained. So that's going to make sure Valentino has that 50% damage reduction, as well as all that rescue marks to help him stay alive. And the point of Redemption, guys, is to sustain, to stay alive. And Ormus does that beautifully because his basic attack heals. And it doesn't only just heal 1 round, it lasts for 3 rounds. And of course, because his rescue mark is being triggered in round 1, I explained that just now, why it's triggered in round 1. And that healing boost really helps with everyone's E3 last passive missing HP healing. It really helps sustain against the double Mim, triple Mim's pressure. But is it enough sometimes? Because of the way Horrify was changed for Aspen, when Aspen does put that Horrify on the Valkyries, and the Valkyries are able to do damage because they are CC'd, it's not a lot of pressure. Of course, when Valkyries are not in a CC, they do way more pressure, but it's still enough pressure to take the GVE down. And that's the fine balance right now. Right now, there is enough healing as well as damage to tick down the GVE before the Redemption dies. All right, and there's a timer. Because of Aida's, there is a timer. And if you can kill the Aida before, like let's say round 2 or 3, then Redemption, they'll have no issues because Aida's down and her last passive, the healing reduce effect, is gone, or it's not building up, right? So Redemption is able to heal through that because of Ormus, as well as all those heroes and the Aspen Horrified Change triggering Valkyrie's heal as well as damage, things like that. And of course Valkyries do have attack reduce on the Mims, and if things are not dying on your team and only the GVE teammates are dying, then it's just not enough pressure from the Mims to, even with 2 or 3 Mims as you're seeing, not enough pressure to destroy the Redemption team. I'm sure I'm missing something, but I'll cover it in another video. I'm just way too excited and way too hyped right now. Of course there'll be free team up arena coming soon, so I'll cover more about Ormus. Leave any questions down below. One of the questions was about Aspen's active. If the rescue mark is on the opponents, and if Aspen does his active, does it like not trigger his execute? It still triggers the execute of damage to make the targets fall below 35%, then it will trigger that execute, and the rescue mark will not tick if the heroes die. But if the heroes are alive after that execute, then the rescue mark will tick in. There's not a lot of case where that 30%, where heroes die below 30% because of that huge aura boost, as well as going tanky. Aida Valkyries are able to go full max HP builds and still, you know, do well. And I explained about Valentino's tankiness. So even though on paper it sounded bad, like I explained 2 days ago, where they have to fall below 30%, wouldn't, you know, Aspen just Shrek them? And there are cases where Aspen can, but in majority of the scenarios today, that wasn't the case. The rescue mark was able to rescue them, and that is a good thing. That is an awesome thing. It's so fun. I'm actually having fun again covering idle heroes. Nice breather. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And and now and yeah, I know I spent 900 glory relics on double Mim, but I do have an E3 Aida. Maybe I could save up and get another Aida rolling when she's available from the glory relic shop. We'll see what happens next week. We never know what's gonna happen with the meta. I have enough guild coins to make an Ormus myself. I might do that on my other account, but we'll see on my 100 account. But we'll see what happens, boys. We'll see how they progress. If they're gonna get stronger, or if people are going to. I'm getting attacked. Monkey's already getting smashed, as you see from the record. A lot of hits, and we'll see what happens, guys. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. If you liked the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, share it with your friends. That really helps out this channel. Subscribe as well, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.